Russia had plans for Ukraine's nuclear power plants before invasion.
Here's a summary of the article.
According to an analysis of the first 5 months of the war by the Royal United Services Institute, a British think tank, the Russians had big plans to use Ukraine's nuclear power plants to help make it all happen. According to the RUSI report, Russia's war plans viewed Ukraine's nuclear power plants as a means to achieve Moscow's larger aims. To deal with any Ukrainian provinces that refused to cooperate with the proxy government Moscow was planning to install, the Russians planned to weaponize the captured nuclear power plants to cut off electricity to those regions. Moscow's goal was the denuclearization of Ukraine through the capture and control of its nuclear power plants, along with the destruction of Ukraine's national identity and of Ukraine's military forces and defense industry, according to the RUSI report. Moscow also seized on Ukraine's peaceful nuclear power program, a legacy of the Soviet Union, to accuse Kyiv wanting to restore its nuclear weapons program and thereby threaten Russia. Press service of National Nuclear Energy Generating Company Energoatom, handout via Reuters. Russian forces still control the Zaporizhzhia plant, but Ukraine has fended off Russian attacks on its other nuclear power facilities. After almost a year of fighting and the deaths of tens of thousands of Russian troops, it's evident that Putin's plans for Ukraine failed miserably, and there are other signs that Ukraine and the world thinks those ambitions are thwarted for good.
This post received a score of 11,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
It's crazy how much Russia relies on radioactivity for relevance and clout. Article says they wanted to capture Ukrainian nuclear plants, to threaten Europe with accidents. It fits their mo and desired image though. Silent, unnoticed, deadly. Too bad no one perceives Russia that way anymore. Russia used to be like radiation. Now it's more like North Korea.
That's the only issue with nukes. Once you're exposed as being all bark no bite, you're a laughingstock. But if anyone ever bites with nuclear radiation, not only do they likely poison the very thing they want, but they've just set the entire world against them and risk surprise regime change.
Another consequence of Russia's threat-filled rhetoric about using nukes is that if sometime down the line they ever find themselves in a position where they truly face what they regard as an actual existential threat, nobody is going to believe them if they issue a sincere ultimatum. They're now like the boy who cried wolf, which makes the world a much more dangerous place. Over and above invading Ukraine and so making any country ever willingly giving up nuclear weapons again a sadly unlikely prospect.
Were the world to let Russia take all of Ukraine, I see no reason why Russia would stop there, and the republics of Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, and Latvia would be next. I have no desire to antagonize Russia, but the only other alternative Russia is offering is to support the defense of Ukraine or simply let Russia take whatever country it wants, and that is simply not an option. So if Russia uses nukes, it's going to use nukes and suffer the consequences from the rest of the world. We're simply not going to let Russia take other people's countries.
I believe there are those in Russia that already regard the rest of the world helping Ukraine defend itself from Russian invasion as that existential threat. It's a bit like how people say if you can't work out which one of your group of mates is the biggest prick, it's you.
Or, if it smells like shit everywhere you go, first place to check is your own shoe.
Well, of course they did. Unfortunately for them, they fucked up and decided, if I can't have it, nobody can.
Russia is the good job buddy of a country.
Heck of a job, Putin.
I'm sure they had planned a lot of things.
I think people tend to forget a portion of this invasion was to get a fair chunk of the natural resources from Ukraine and start actually making use of them, etc.
Less making use of them. Russia has too much gas itself, but blocking others to use it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.